Alchemist draft. RDO, the big carry that this team likes to play around. And we'll see if the, I'd say, more experienced NoPing side, as far as some of their players goes, a bit more veteranship with players like FURIA, Theliacor, Tavo, Costabile, players who've been around a bit longer for the most part.
I definitely recognize more names
Yes.
from players that have been noteworthy in the SA/NA regions teams. Obviously, all of them from SA, but some of them have ventured over. I've seen Costabile pop his head up on some random NA squads, and he's a very efficient farmer. I will say that much about Costabile. I don't view him negatively or greatly. I just know that his strength is farming, and I think he's been limited on his other aspects of his game, and I think he's gotten better. So it just comes down to eventually will he be able to find the right balance between farming too much and really only being able to play these farm-heavy cores, which he kind of reminds me of like a South American Ritsu. He plays all those heroes.
Good,
all the anti-mages,
yeah.
PLs.
So if you give him a free game, he doesn't get contested, he will win you the game.
He's going to get like 900 GPM. Yeah, he's going to be the most efficient farmer you'll ever see. But in a more contested scenario, outside of his comfort zone, it does bode a little bit of concern.
Yep. Well, we'll see how his game goes. Right now, he's kind of on an island. He's going to have a Phoenix joining him. So a Phoenix anti-mage lane. The other support, Rubik, down bottom for now. Both supports.
They're actually rotating the Oracle to top for now. Maybe looking to get a quick early kill onto Costabile, having that extra root follow-up.
Does leave Alchemist by himself down bottom, and definitely not really how he wants his game to go. He does not want to be contested.
I think the Oracle will come bottom right after, right now. They just wanted to see if they could get a quick little snipe on the anti-mage. Probably going to use his fortunes in to secure that range creep. When it gets low, worry about that later.
Well, Rubik already getting one himself, so we'll see Theliacor playing that Rubik. Not the maybe most successful hero of this tournament, and then over in the mid lane, it's going to be a Razor versus Storm Spirit matchup. Matchup that Storm probably won't be thrilled about with all the damage ceiling potential, but at least you've got the Remnant to secure some last hits, even when you're losing that physical damage.
Yeah, it's a good lane matchup for Razor, bad game matchup, so that's why you don't necessarily mind playing the Storm Spirit here.
Yep. Well, so far, so good. Anti-Mage not really having too many problems as far as securing his lane. And Alchemist, even though he hasn't got much CS and farm yet, this is kind of one of those heroes. If you get a few levels, you have some jungle stacks, you're not worried about free farming the lane itself as an Alchemist, I feel.
Look at this Centaur build.
Oh ho ho ho!
The Ring of Tarrasque only.
Okay. You a fan of this as an offlane player?
I think he's one of the best heroes at capitalizing on it. The heroes that come to mind are ones that have abilities that help them secure CS and or they have really good base stats. Yep. And Centaur fits the base stats scenario. And where he has 68 base damage only at level 2. All he needs to do is be able to sustain. He has the return to be able to trade, the retaliate. Oh, the courier goes down. For a second I thought that was a kill, but I was like, wait, what? But
he's going to dive on in here. He's committed to this one, but Heiko on the Mirana is looking to punish. If he hits this arrow, they might be able to get this kill. Sand King, can he get in range for a Burrow strike? It looks like he's just a little bit too far away.
I think he outplayed himself there on Sand King.
Yeah.
But
doesn't matter, though.
Get him. Yep, nice.
Heiko's got the kill. That's a first blood, a solo kill for Mirana, who has Salve Clarity to stay in this lane as well.
As I was saying, the Ring of Tarrasque is just so value on these heroes that don't need anything else. They just need to sustain.
Well, Storm's committed to this one. One more, two more right clicks. He's got the high ground advantage, but the miss is not going to come in. 40R goes down to the Razor.
It's funny to think RNG decided that kill right there.
Yeah.
I think he would have died to the overload charge plus the creeps hitting him.
So it was like 4 creeps, yeah. Maybe, at least the Storm definitely lives, but maybe he doesn't get the kill either way. It was definitely an RNG factor there. And things will settle down a bit here. Other than the mid lane, things going pretty well for NoPing in the lanes.
As expected, I would say. I think Anti-Mage does have a pacing issue against Alchemist, so him having a good start is really important here. Just the fact that he requires so much longer to come online. And since you have the Storm Spirit as well, you have a very greedy lineup against the Alk. I think people have been picking Alk to punish greed because you want Alk to hit his timing before their greedy lineup hits theirs. And so far, it's worked out. I was going to say qualifiers, but the online league.
Yep. Well, we'll see if there's going to be any adjustments by FURIA, or if they're just content to see this anti-mage get some early game free farm. Not really a whole lot they can do if they want to keep trying to secure the Alchemist lane, which is not proven an easy task. This Ring of Taras Centaur leading this bottom lane as far as CS goes.
I'm surprised Alk didn't consider a Ring of Taras of his own. A lot of Alks I've seen have gone for it in highly contested lanes. You have pretty low strength as an Alk, and you also have Acid Spray to innately farm, so you just need to sustain. So I've seen that work out for him too. But just chilling at pretty much half health the entire lane, playing very passively, forced to do so. Mid lane, a little bit of smacking back and forth. The electric type war going on in the mid lane.
Electric on electric. Not very effective if my Pokemon playing days taught me anything.
Yes.
But
so ineffective, 40R has retreated to the jungle.
he's like, all right, this is more effective against the creeps. He's
These are water type creeps.
Yep.
They're blue at least. Oh, he gets the small satyrs at the medium camp. That's big.
Yeah, this is nice camp for Storm and both. No golems to deal with. Back at top, Sexy Fat out of mana here. May just go down. Costabile not going to get the last hit on it, but it goes the way of the Phoenix.
I'm not going to lie. I didn't pay close attention to the names of the players on FURIA, that this guy's name is Sexy Fat.
Yeah.
that's top 10 names of all time for me for sure. Murdoch does manage to solo kill Theocor at the bounty rune. Lifts him away, but it doesn't quite break the link, which allows him to get the full duration, 117 stolen damage.
Important, though, you're playing against Alchemist, you get the bounty rune, and that's what Rubik does there. So still probably an okay death from his part.
Well, Razor having a really good start here is super important for the Alchemist game, but as you see, Anti-Mage almost doubling Alchemist up on the CS, so that's a little bit concerning there. Do they have stacks in the Radiant jungle? That's the question.
Back at mid, Murdoch's diving for this one. He's going in for 40 eyes, a full duration static link, and uses that plasma field for vision to get the last hit.
Yeah, no Stampede or anything yet. I'm surprised they're not potentially rotating like the Phoenix mid to just take some aggression off this tower. The Anti-Mage is getting pressured a bit, so I guess they're choosing to help Costabile out over the mid lane pressure, but Storm Spirit is hurt, and that is a almost level 7.5 Razor. And only a level 5 Storm. But Razor's sitting at pretty low health in the mid lane, so if he manages to get 6 on this creep wave by Storm here, does he have a salve flying out? He does. It's going to be a small window, I think, for 40R if he wants to try to capitalize on it.
Murdoch's already
nope,
backing off,
he's definitely aware that he's vulnerable.
He just wanted that range creep in.
Meanwhile, top, Phoenix is getting dove, and he dives away.
Around it with another leap in. That's level 2 leaps all over attack speed, but some nice tree play coming in from KJ, who gets Burrow Strike by the Sand King and will go down as Costabile unable to get any kind of retaliation.
Now let's see if the retaliating hero bottom, Centaur, is being a little bit aggressive with his level advantage over the Alchemist. Pretty much just free farming on Centaur, 39 and 12.
Yeah, he's having
gets
a great
the kill
time
on Oracle.
Yeah, once the second kill, once RDO, who's really struggling to get his farm in this game, is going to be kept alive with the help of Mirana TP, who's not going to land an arrow. Rubik will get away, and NoPing going to be happy with that one. Even happier with top lane, Sexy Fat going down. Good name, not the best of plays and start from FURIA, though.
And Alchemist, we're just going to keep an eye out on him. He does go back for a Soul Ring 8 minutes in. That's pretty much all he's got, the Phase Boot Soul Ring. Centaur is a super greedy offlaner in the sense that he really needs to have a good start, needs this early farming period, and he applies so much pressure when he gets this. So it is a bit concerning to me that he's having such a good start. I guess you can't really expect too much different, but the fact that he's absolutely free farming is pretty concerning for the side of FURIA. Oracle getting gone on again bottom, gets lifted into the Centaur Stomp, then just gets whacked on and fade bolted for the last hit.
Do you think NoPing looking to get Storm more involved to also help create space for Anti-Mage, or are they looking to just play the more greed game and have both these cores farm?
I think Centaur might be able to alleviate some of the pressure on Storm to get stuff done, because he does have to prioritize his own game a bit. He's hurting right now. He has 34 CS, but a lot of that is jungle creeps. And if you look at his inventory, it is not exactly what you're looking for. Does manage to pick up an Ocean Heart, so that could pay off a little bit. He is going to seemingly go back to base. On heroes like Storm that like to regen up their mana and then TP back out, I've noticed it hurts a lot, this 90 gold TP.
Nice solo kill. Costabile just waits for Miranda to walk up to him and chases her down.
Yeah, he's just not afraid in this top lane. He can do whatever he wants. He sees Miranda, he can blink on her. He can do whatever he wants aggressively. He does get an Iron Talon on Alchemist. That's super nice for him at this stage in the game. The attack speed, obviously the active on the creeps. But when you leave a Centaur to his lane, your tower is going to die.
I think at some point, once you lost that lane, you kind of have to accept this and just try get the Alks farm elsewhere, because his Radiance timing is not looking too pretty right now. Things have been rough as far as this stat goes for RDO.
Sexy Fat is taking the top tower. I usually refer to people by their hero names, but I'll definitely be referring to him by his name. Does get the link on Costabile. Does blink into the arrow long range.
Oh, no.
But they're just going to accept and get the outpost before the 10-minute mark.
One apiece in the end.
He said, "Son, I'm going deep." You know, caught the long range Hail Mary. Yep. Made sure he didn't get the 3-second arrow, but instead the 5. 40R does sneak this bounty rune out from behind the enemy lines there.
That's going to prevent the Alk from getting too many of those runes. Only 1 out of the 4 most likely going to be going Furia's way, as you got to assume NoPing are going to be securing the 2 bounties on their side.
The Rubik has stolen the Sandstorm, so that'll help him push out waves as well as farm very efficiently. He can pretty much take the dead lane farm forever now because he has that spell. It is one of the reasons why Sand King himself can take the dangerous farm bottom, so why not just have Rubik do it?
And you kind of prefer it being a support that you send to that dead lane, as you call it?
Yeah. I think anti-mage type heroes always want to play off lane because they can play around their strong cores like this Centaur. Storm's going to be jungling. Phoenix can take mid. And they're going on him here. Yep. He burrow striked already, but had to be a bit careful. This tower is doing a lot of damage. Manages to get basically healed up, though, by the Oracle.
The Oracle comes in to save the day. They committed a lot. The Centaur Stampede, Anti-Mage rotating with the dust. They'll find a Courier in the end. Heiko not able to stay on top of that one.
Storm's here, though. He has a DD.
Yeah, they want to fight. They're ready to wrap around and dive this one. Leap charges are there from the round, who's going to immediately commit 2. With the Phoenix Supernova, though, they should be able to get some kills out of this one. The TP coming in. They want to bring down the egg. They're too late, though. Murdoch TP'd into the Supernova stun, and that means there's more Fire Spirits to play around as well. Static Link onto Tava, who's in a lot of trouble with the Stampede on cooldown. It should be a kill. Storm manages to find Oracle as a 2-for-2 trade, but Anti-Mage dying in that one. Not what you want to see if you're NoPing.
I don't believe Anti-Mage is supposed to be at this. I think when you're making this big of a team move, the only reason Anti-Mage would be participating at this stage in the game is because there's a balloon on the opponent's team. I always refer to them as balloons. Somebody that has very high mana pool, they've expended it, you ulti them, they blow up. There's nobody like that on Furia's lineup right now. I think Anti-Mage has a pretty good game in terms of the hero matchups that he can farm and not be concerned about dying. But he doesn't have good game matchup where he can participate early on in the game like that. So a bit odd to me that an anti-mage player like Costabile would choose to be active in the early game team fights. It's okay to take, go for the kill attempt on the Sand King underneath his own tower, but a 4-on-4 engagement's entirely different scenario.
Maybe he's been hearing you. He's like, I'm not just the guy who hits creeps. I'm gonna go hit some heroes this game. He has been a bit more active.
These arrows have. Yeah. I don't know if it's like the Mirana hitting the arrows or the Phoenix walking into them at the
Stolen arrows. Going to find Sexy Fat, though. He could be in some trouble, with the Storm rotation. There's a revenge kill, and they want more. They've stampeded after Heiko, who's out of leap charges, but 40R does not want to commit any more mana for the kill, so he'll back off.
It's been a pretty huge closet buff to these heroes like Mirana that you can't tell how many leap charges they have. For all he knew, she could still have another one, so he didn't ball on top of her. I think if he knew for sure she had 0, he would have ball lightninged on top of her there. Because I think she would have died.
Yeah. I guess you're very close to that tier 1 mid tower, which is where Storm was probably a little nervous.
Yeah, and if she has another charge, then you just waste all your mana going on her, which for Storm, it basically slows down your farm to waste your mana like that.
So things are settling in for the Alchemist, who is still below average as far as the Alchemist farm goes, but he is top of the net worth, so he's at least recovered from where he was 5 minutes ago. And once you get that Radiance, your farm essentially increases exponentially, so...
The fact that they're getting this mid towers like this is very good for NoPing. It'll help invade the Alchemist before he gets his BKB, because the Radiance is not really Alchemist timing. That's a I'm farming my BKB timing, but we have a major engagement here.
Yeah, they're going to commit with Supernova and everything. The leap in, they want to bring down this egg. The Mirana gets lifted, though. That could save this egg. Nope, not enough, but Heiko will die for the egg kill. Sexy Fat on the retreat now. Has the hood, though, so he's fairly tanky on the front lines here. Hasn't actually committed. Doesn't get a two-man Mana Void for the double kill. Sexy Fat holding onto that hood barrier buff, and they're going to pay the price for it. They've lost 3. It's about to be a 4th. Costa Bile getting very active, very involved. Found that balloon. It was the Razor this time. 950 mana pool with that Rod of Atos.
Wait, what? Oh, Rod of Atos, okay.
I mean, against an anti-mage, he's probably happy to see that item.
Yeah, I have to imagine that's just a bad item here.
Well,
we do have a replay coming up of that fight.
So Anti-Mage not here to start the fight. You can see he's hitting the jungle creeps, but the second this fight breaks out, he's going to rotate on in, and Tavo able to get a lot done there. We'll break ourselves out of it, as there was a bounty room pickups being contested. And
that's the
NoPing
kind of fight
them.
Anti-Mage wants, right? Where the fight breaks out, spells are used, his team's coming out slightly on top, he can just blink in and clean up crew it. That's exactly where Anti-Mage wants to be in terms of fighting. Does get the link into the arrow. I believe that was an Atos setup, and Centaur uses ultimate late there, and it's barely going to save him. That Oracle third spell, once again, Purifying Flames, just healing him up.
Yeah, I think he thought he was going to kill him with it, but the hood active, was popped by Tavo to save his life there, so without that barrier, would have been a kill.
Phoenix going for the Erd into Speared Vessel. Pretty important timing against the Alchemist, but he most likely will have a BKB by the time that Spirit Vessel is online. Does have the Radiance complete in 300 gold. Pretty late by Alchemist standards, I would say. 16 minutes plus into the game, he's going to get it.
He's
bottom lane. Sand King getting gone on. Looks a little hesitant on the Storm Spirit, though. Only about 30% mana.
Yeah, not looking to commit, but yeah, with Anti-Mage on par with Alchemist in farm, was just behind him until Alch hit a few creeps. You're feeling pretty good about where things are at right now if you're NoPing.
Yeah, absolutely. When I said Anti-Mage is a slower-paced hero than Alch, I didn't mean that if they have the same net worth, Anti-Mage takes more items. I mean, it usually takes Anti-Mage more time to get the same net worth, which in this case is not true.
Yeah, he hit his Battle Fury a couple minutes before this Alch.
That
Radiance
triple kill did not hurt.
Here we go, NoPing, 3-hero smoke in the mid lane. They are looking to start another fight with Supernova coming back up. They appear ready to go. Both AM and Storm not joining in for this one, but both very mobile heroes who could theoretically rotate in and get to a fight very quickly. As it does look like they're going to head towards that top lane, take out that last tier 1 tower if they can do so. And Alchemist is nearby. If he pushes up, they will find him. Looks like neither team is going to get a whole lot out of this one. Tavo's Blink Dagger with his hood. He's had such a good game. And that's such a big reason why they're able to take fights like that mid lane, because of how tanky this Centaur is. And it does seem like Furia not interested in taking a fight or defending this top lane. They're just going to farm elsewhere on the map.
Last time I watched Furia play, RDO was, he had the next item syndrome where he kept trying to farm his next item before they took a fight, and I'm a bit concerned that might happen this game. They do have the Blink initiation onto the Razor mid. He doesn't have an Atos or a BKB, or sorry, Yules or a BKB here to remove that dust. Only has that Atos. They're going to use the Centaur ultimate to chase again. Anti-Mage always at these fights. Have to wonder that he's not just farming during this time, while the Alchemist is just farming, but with 3 teammates nearby, so by no means is Radiant playing efficiently. I think this is the time where Anti-Mage is not quite powerful enough to fight yet compared to the Alch, especially once you hit this BKB. Furia has to have a sense of urgency once this BKB comes out for the Alch, and I'm concerned that they might not do that. So I'm going to keep an eye out for this timing. He is about 1,000 off.
So on the NoPing side with AM coming to these fights, do you think that's partly because he doesn't want to fight when that BKB's up? Is he just feeling like, hey, I can actually do something right now? Or should he just be farming?
I personally think he can be showing up to fights, but he might be doing it a bit too much.
Okay.
I think his timings are very important to keep online with the Alchemist. And his team doesn't necessarily... There's the argument that you're strong enough to fight, and there's the argument that your team doesn't need you. And another... Trying to pick on Sexy Fat again. We like his name. They don't like him. He's going to go down.
Well, they're going to commit a supernova now to this mid lane. Duster as well as Heiko and the Mirana both getting caught out here. The last leap charge being used, and they're going to get all 3 here, so...
That's good punishing of the fact that Alchemist hasn't hit his timing yet. That's like a good example where I don't mind if he's at these chases that are aggressive on the opponent's side of the map, but when there's just like a support getting chased on your own side of the map, just go hit some creeps, you know? It doesn't really do anything. To get that kill for you. Like, the kill's worth gold, but you could just be hitting creeps for gold. But those aggressive kills that force out the fortification, force the rest of Furia onto their base, those are really good kills for Anti-Mage to be participating in when the Alchemist still isn't strong enough yet.
It was almost like those kills there, he was almost there by coincidence because he was just aggressively pushing. He was there for the creeps.
It's
he was
convenient.
pushing mid.
He's there out of convenience. That's a great way of wording it, yeah. Atos reflected, another reason why I'm a bit questioning of this item.
Yep.
I think he went for it against the Storm, but I don't necessarily think when you crush your mid lane as hard as you did that going for an item to address the guy you crushed is necessarily the right plan.
FURIA, yeah, he's still struggling a bit as far as his farm goes. He's 3rd on his team in net worth, 5th in the game, but able to still get himself involved in a number of kills, so didn't have the best lane, but is still having a decent game. As now the Alk BKB timing is there. Adio has got those next items queued up, Heart of Tarrasque, Assault Cuirass, but it may be go time if you're FURIA, because AM is getting scarier and scarier as time goes on.
This Centaur, though, is one beefy boy, 2,200 health with a pipe.
Oh yeah, that's going to be very nice against the Radiance of Alk, the Sand King, as well.
Storm Spirit Bloodstone is complete once he makes it to the secret shop. All 3 cores on the Dire side are feeling pretty good, all things considered, I would say.
Yeah, so even though this Alk has hit his BKB timing, is there anything NoPing's really waiting for themselves? Like, they're kind of happy to fight as well.
Yeah, I think they're happy to just march down lanes like this and trade. I don't think that they care about what's going on in the game as long as this Anti-Mage is still hitting creeps, which he is. He is blinking to the bottom lane even, looking to put a bit of pressure on this tier 3, forces a few reactions, effectively corralling FURIA into their base with this tower pressure in the mid and bottom lanes, which is perfectly fine. You don't necessarily need to control the map directly, meaning you don't have to run at them and fight them. You can just force them to react to what you're doing, and that's a nice, efficient way to play these lineups with heroes like Storm, Anti-Mage, very aggressive, very mobile farming heroes.
I mean, this bottom lane, Fury just, they don't really want to play bottom lane and keep having to defend it, but at the same time, it becomes very obvious when they're playing around top and Roche. Nice! Atos is going to set up an arrow. They're going to catch up the Storm. We get forced out the way. Not enough. The arrow stun duration, bit too long, and they may get another one. Deliacore steals the epicenter, but will not get a chance to channel it. He instantly canceled the channel.
That's going to lead to a Roche, so that's a great way to hit this timing. Yeah, he didn't have to use the BKB, but having it allows him to be confident in the fact that he can fight Atos.
AM's getting bottom tier 3, though.
They know the Roche is going on, so they don't want to fight it directly. They just said, okay, if you guys want to take Roche, if you really insist, we'll take a free tier 3, potentially a range Rax if it takes too long. This Roche is taking a bit longer than I think they would have hoped. Razor is TPing. And he's actually just Manta hitting him out of mana. Gets the reflected link. No, he does not get the reflected link.
He did, yeah.
Oh, wait, what? Oh.
Yep. Blinks in with the Mana Void is not quite enough damage. Murdoch survives on a sliver of health as Phoenix did die further back. And Anti-Mage is saying, I got a range. Maybe I can get a melee. He's about to find out he can't. The Moonlight Shadow is perhaps setting up an initiation here if he's not careful.
Arrow? Oh my god,
he walks
again.
into it a little bit. Oh, Anti-Mage, it's a long stun. Is it going to be enough? There's going to be a follow-up Burrow Strike that gets reflected, and Costabile gets out. The Burrow Strike, I'm not sure if it was on cooldown or what there.
Just not quite properly chained there, coming out from FURIA.
Okay. Not the end of the world for FURIA as far as losing the range rack since they get an Aegis out of it, but it does feel like they need to get a lot while they've got this Aegis. There's back up bottom lane. Sexy Fat once again on the receiving end. 6 deaths now. He is getting bullied.
I would say that there's 2 types of carry players. There's the ones that dodge every arrow and the ones that catch every arrow. And Costa Bile so far has proven to me he is the latter.
Yep.
I'm also the latter.
I
hate Mirana metas, man. If there's a way for me to accidentally walk into that damn arrow, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm freaking doing it somehow.
It's like the more you think about it, the more it
if I just didn't see it, I'd dodge it for sure. But the fact that I see it, I'm like, oh god, and then just straight left turn right into the arrow. He's done that twice already, where he like blinks away or runs away and catches a longer duration arrow. But needless to say, he actually lives, and the Sand King is the one that goes down, so the net worth lead further extended for NoPing, despite the kill on Storm and the Aegis taken on the Alk.
What's Alk picked up? Okay, he's got a Basher now, so we'll see him look to pick up some items to be able to kind of fight the AM head-on, but elsewhere, NoPing have caught the supports. They bring down Duster, fighting underneath their high ground ward. They get both supports very quickly, and Murdoch could be in some trouble as well. Have they got anything cancel TP? They don't. So NoPing will only get the 2 supports as AM down bottom. Maybe a little bit of pressure, but he is just kind of at that unkillable status unless maybe he cops a 5-second arrow.
Ooh, Orb of Destruction. Use it. Yes. Very valuable item. First anti-mage here. All physical damage coming out from anti-mage, so simply buffed up. Gives him a bit of the Scotty slow when it comes to locking onto targets against heroes like Alk as well as Razor. Quite impactful. Telescope for the Rubik most likely. That's a nice item as well. Really good neutral items coming out. Repair kit. Jeez, anti-mage is just a gold mine of
You got the Fairy
items.
Fire as well, which I would say not so much a good item. I don't know how you feel about Fairy Fire.
It's better than Ironwood Tree for the Centaur, so I think he'll probably end up taking that. Which he appears to be doing just that.
Does he want the repair kit even? Get that health regen? No, you
The
got
repair
Fairy Fire.
kit's actually so much health regen.
Yeah, it just kept getting buffed to a point where it's like, actually, carry this item not for the tower active, for the health regen
Yeah,
itself.
the tower active got nerfed a shit ton, and the regen, in fact, got buffed a lot. So.
Yeah. Mid lane audio. There's a Blink Centaur nearby. Are they going to try and blow him up here? They blink in, trying to bait out a BKB. Audio not taking the bait here, and Tavo, he may pay the price if he's not careful. His Stampede's on cooldown. The arrow not going to land.
Oh my god, the force half into the arrow!
He did land!
I'm sorry. What the, like, oh my god, their ability to catch these arrows at longer durations than they should be is impressive at this point for the side of NoPing. This is multiple players across multiple instances.
Yep. These guys are catching arrows.
I'm telling you, if there was a mini game to win that you had to catch these things, they would be 100% my favorite going in.
Like the reverse Frogger.
Yes. Storm Spirit does have his BKB, so that's a good timing for him. He should feel pretty free to go on whoever he so chooses. Probably prioritizing the backline supports. Very squishy, very vulnerable. Or Sexy Fat. He's been pretty vulnerable so far this game as well. Titan Sliver for Alk. That's a nice item as well.
You know what? As far as neutral items go, it still makes me sad that mango trees are just planted by your fountain. Both teams with the base mango trees.
And Radiant not making efficient usage of those. There's a plentiful harvest in the middle of their base here. Meanwhile, Dire only has 2 mangoes on the ground, so they're clearly making good use of that. Well, people just got so good at killing the mango tree that there's no better use than just have a bunch of free mangoes.
Yeah, I feel like the only way I've seen mango trees not get killed is when they're planted on the trees on the very edges of the map, like the outside trees, where you just don't scout until, except for like really random scenarios. And then the vision those give is
so mediocre, why wouldn't you just put it in your base?
Yep.
He does have the Fairy Fire on Tavo. Looks like a smoke, I hear, coming out from FURIA. Going to be let out by the none other than Bring That Sexy Fat.
He's got his blink now, so they have an insta-catch for this AM if he's not quick on his counterspell
He
fingers.
actually blinked behind them here.
Ooh, there we go. They get the first stun. The second one followed up with an arrow. They blink in. Tavo could be in some trouble. He blinked into that out concoction. They're going to lose the AM, who does not have buyback. Tavo going to try stampede himself out of there with the Oracle kill first, but he will not escape. Duster gives him a little tip, perhaps for that blink into stun that he did. There's the Olacor. Blink out. Should survive here. They're not going to go chasing as Phoenix is cutting some waves here in the mid lane, perhaps knowing the AM doesn't have buyback.
Bottom lane. Nope, he's just killing the creeps. Was an Arcane Rune, so they had a pretty good timing there with that Arcane Rune BKB Storm Spirit that was pretty much wasted by Anti-Mage getting caught out there. Will we see another game that looks completely hopeless for Alchemist and he just wins?
Yeah, it used to be out games, you know, you're on this timer, 20 to 30 minutes. You got to be an item or two ahead of the enemy carry, but maybe Alk is a late game hero now.
I think this hero is just broken if he can look if he wins this type of game.
Yeah.
You should just have no business. Like the whole point of Alk is if you get ahead at the start you win, and if you don't, you're supposed to lose. And you can't have it where you win if you're behind and ahead. Orb of Destruction, what does he choose? Probably gives that to the Razor. Very nice.
Okay.
That Abyssal Blade for Alk will be a pretty huge timing for him. Shocker, another support goes down to Storm Spirit, living the dream, trying to take a solo bounty rune on the map. That's a bit greedy if you ask me.
Yeah.
But nobody did, so.
Look, they might be watching the VOD afterwards, and then he's going to be like, oh, I didn't ask BSJ, but I wish I did.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have made that mistake.
They do have a DD on Anti-Mage bottled up with this smoke, so trying to make something happen with this 150 free damage for Anti-Mage here with the Abyssal Blade of his own.
He's hunting. The Dire Scam will find RDO. Instead, they're going to jump on the mid lane. Duster gets instantly deleted, and uh-oh, RDO, he's in trouble. He's got a BKB, but the AM blinks him with a Abyssal Blade. Wants to get this kill. He's not popping the double damage. Costabile, use your DD, man. Well, they're going to pay the price for this one. Tavo getting ATOS'd up here as they Fortiago's blinking on the backlines. Now he's popped the DD and looking to fight, but he's been stunned up. Costabile, he's dead. He's being tipped. Oh, no. Things just couldn't go worse for NoPing. The bash comes in. They can go worse. It's another kill as Fortiago's down as well.
You know, you're at the restaurant and you just had wonderful service and you just think that person deserves a tip. You know, that's the Dota equivalent. Yep. You know, we were having a rough game. This guy just handed us a nice, juicy feed, and we will tip him for it. That was incredibly questionable all around by Anti-Mage. I think most notably the fact that he did not pop the DD when attempting to go on the Alchemist, which was the whole reason they smoked in the first place. They got the DD, and they smoked up right after.
We'll see it again here.
He hit him at least 7 or 8 times there with no DD active.
There was also a lot of Radiance misses, I feel. But even so. And then he blinks back in. Like
almost got him.
Blink back into 4 heroes. I don't know, almost got him.
Yeah. Not exactly clean plays so far coming out from Costa Billy as the game has gone on.
He had such a good early to mid game. He was outpacing an Alchemist, but things have kind of faltered here later on as the repair kit is delaying this push, perhaps saving them a Rax. With
Looks like it absolutely has saved them that Rax. Roche will be spawning in the next minute or so. Looks like about 30 seconds. They're going to keep an eye out for that. Maybe leave a courier in the pit to scout it out. Spider legs. Spider legs. Spider legs. I've never had somebody join in with me when I say that. Does give it to... Okay, I'll talk about it after there's a potential fight here. Smoke up from NoPing. It's probably not going to be funny anymore now there's a fight. But okay, so they do know something's up. Furia sitting on the high ground
positioned pretty well here. Sexy Fat, he's...
Bottom lane, though. Look at that.
Blink stun. Going to catch the Anti-Mage. The follow-up stun is not there. Actually, it is. The Anti-Mage gets caught out by the Abyssal Blade, but he will get a blink out. Huge creep wave bottom is just pushing in as NoPing looking to chase for more. These supports are getting eaten alive by 40R. Huge creep wave bottom. Is it going to get this Rax? The TP from Sanking. What happened to it?
Got canceled.
Okay.
But only one catapult. If that was the 35-minute wave, that would have killed it for sure.
And Even
Meanwhile,
though they
back at
defend the
Roche.
racks, yeah, that completely opens up the map for NoPing to take Roche because these cores had to TP bottom. It's been scouted out. They don't kill this that fast. They're going to get here in time, I believe.
Yeah, Orb of Destruction making it a bit faster, but looks like it's not
Sanking.
enough.
Oh, he was going for an epicenter, but he gets caught out. They had the vision of him. They instantly blink in, take him out. They lose the gem as well.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
3-2-2 back and forth. I'd say this is a 966 or so at this point, Gods.
That wasn't even an observer ward. I think that was just Phoenix scouting it out with his body. The day vision, and Sanking was not on the high ground. He was doing it from the river.
Every time I think of the Spider-Man song, I think of the Simpsons movie.
Yeah.
Where he's like, Spider Pig, Spider Pig.
That's where I kind of learned that song.
Is it really?
I did not watch many cartoons as a kid. I had, 3 sisters. They was not to their liking.
Were you the one dressed up in a tutu? To their choice there?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question.
Oh, okay.
But ask a new question, please.
New question.
There was.
We'll talk about it later, off stream.
Yeah.
I'll hear you better when it's off stream. Okay. Yeah. So back to the game. They do have the Aegis and Cheeses on Dire now. So a little bit of back and forth going on here. 35-minute bounties. I'm sure they're going to be content to take both outposts just for the sake of controlling them, not for obviously any benefit on the 5-minute mark, but also taking all 4 bounties. Anti-Mage. Once again, bottling up that DD. He's going to save it for 3 fights from now to make sure it has aged well.
What's the AM's job in these fights? Because it feels like Storm is getting these supports. What's the AM looking to do?
I would like him to personally remove the Razor from the fight. I think Centaur has a really hard time doing anything if Razor is allowed to just link him. Because I think that's your main target is Razor, right? You don't really want to link an Anti-Mage or a Oh, Arrow again, 5 seconds. There's the link, full duration, heal coming out from the Phoenix.
I don't know if Phoenix should be trying to save him. Actually, with 40 out coming in, maybe they think they can. There's a Yule Scepter to counterplay this one on the Storm, who gets instantly Abyssal as well to follow this one up with a BKB. He should be fine. Balls away, doesn't. Actually, has a TP as well as a Cheese. Not going to need a TP on out. They're committing buybacks. NoPing want to fight
popped.
this.
He's looking.
Yeah, this time he pops. He gets the Aghanim's Vortex to pull in the Razor. Murdoch in a lot of trouble. Does have a Butterfly, but that's not going to save his life. Costabile leading the charge here in the top lane. Razor does have buyback. Arrow.
Catapult value.
Whatever hits there, you're happy, I guess. They'll force out a glyph now as well.
Arrow. Oh my god, not again.
Doesn't look like they'll follow it up. Razor holding on to the buyback for now. Anti-Mage goes blinking in here as Costabile needs to be careful. He's committed a lot with the Razor buyback. We'll see if that means they're going to sound the retreat.
Sorry. Had to
There's been so many. Yeah.
Have PTSD at this point of arrows. Oh my god, the arrow. Oh my god, the arrow, 5 seconds. On the Storm. No, please. No, not again.
They pop the egg. They force stuff him away. Can they keep him alive? Oh, and there's a regen rune. 40 gets bailed out. The egg is barely going to pop as well. NoPing catching every single break possible. The regen rune, the egg with 1 hit left.
Anti-Mage?
But Anti-Mage, Costabile, there's no breaks left to catch for him. Luckily, he's got an Aegis, so things actually still looking okay with the static link coming out from the Rubik on the Alchemist.
So cool. Actually, I've never seen that.
Is stealing all the Elk's damage. He's lost 174 damage. There's no way he can turn and fight now. The AM is on top of him. The false promise is not going to save his life. I've got to imagine he's going down. He barely has the health after it, but he still dies.
No buyback.
And without buyback, this could be the end for FURIA. A very back and forth game.
That was so cool with Rubik stealing like that. I've never seen that before. He has like his wand holding out, draining you. That's so cool. I've never seen that.
With all the cast range talents, right? Those work with the link?
Yeah, it does. It does. It extends the break and cast range of it.
So Aether Lens plus the cast range talent, and
the telescope.
He was linking from miles away. Here we go, Sexy Fat, Epicenter blinking, Burrow Strike catches out 2. The arrow going to follow this one up. It's going to catch up the Centaur. The Force Staff, he's still on the high ground though. It should be a kill on Tavo as Murdoch will bring him down. He's bought a last-minute desperation Mask of Madness to try and salvage this game as Murdoch on the front line is doing some good work here, but it's just 1 melee Rax left standing as...
Hold the door.
Whew. They've held on for now, but Alchemist still dead for 35. Costabile is going to take another arrow, but he may just want to focus down this melee Rax now. Looks like
one more Rex bottom
Mega
lane.
Creeps is going to be on the cards here if they want to go bottom. Yep, blink down there. Costabile, he reflects the Atos. The arrow is going to land once again. Costabile's been linked up. It's not going to be enough damage to bring him down, luckily. Murdoch was being held back by the Vortex of 40R, who's going to TP out. Oh, God, the arrow almost catches the other heroes TPing out, and everybody gets out somehow. The blink Burrow Strike was just barely too late.
Oof.
This game.
Well, there's been some iconic moments for sure.
Another double damager in here. Costabile bottles it up. Man, I feel like, considering there's no longer the double runes, I guess we're pre-40 minutes anyways. There's been a lot of DDs this game.
I agree. He's had a bottled DD like 80% of the time I've looked in his inventory.
And that fight, Storm had a clutch regen rune as well. That right as he barely survived.
They ball bought lottery tickets before this game, for sure.
So what is left for FURIA? Down Mega Creeps. Is there any Hail Mary plays they can make? As Silver Edge is picked up by Alchemist. Break against AM, against Centaur, I guess. But
against Rubik, when he lifts you, it's not going to last as long.
Okay.
Think about it.
I
can tell you're thinking.
Accurate, yeah. That works, right? I assume it works.
I actually don't know, but definitely I've never bought a Silver Edge in my life for the sake of a Rubik. They do have a Spell Prism Anti-Mage finds. I think that's the best tier 4 item myself. Not for Anti-Mage specifically, but just all around.
For Phoenix, maybe? Or Rubik? We'll see who ends up with it. Blink
that
in.
was a Mirana.
Yeah, Mirana's still alive. She never died.
Yeah, she just teleported.
Yep.
Oh, I like this. Looking just in case.
Razor.
Oh, does find him. He has a TP that he could use, but there's a Blink Abyssal Anti-Mage that he knows ain't going to work. Does use the Atos to cancel Thylacore's TP, though.
Yeah, I was thinking they were going to get this kill, but with the stolen Burrow Strike, he gets himself out of there. The Thylacore gets chased down. The Blink Burrow Strike now from the Sand King looking to get him. He's still alive. He's going to pop an egg, and that's going to keep him alive. That's the Aghanim Scepter saving the Rubik as he gets pulled in. The Mirana with the dieback. The Ball Lightning catches out the Invisible Alchemist. He thought he was safe, but the Aghanim's Storm Spirit will catch him out, forcing out a BKB. And yeah, their base is just dying to the creeps here. There's no real salvaging this game as AM is just unstoppable on the front lines. Buybacks are going to come here. They did kill the Storm here, but
he's dancing.
Yeah, he's dancing. Razor got a decent static link on the AM, but it doesn't feel like that's going to be enough here, and the Storm will catch the Alk. Once again, no buyback on the Razor. GG is called. 41 minutes in, NoPing will claim victory.
Many throws were had, many